Okay, so as I mentioned on my stream a few times, I have been actually laddering on Pokemon Showdown, trying to get a handle on this Generation 6 metagame, and I'm going to use a team that's pretty darn similar to the one that I'm laddering with. Obviously, I made a few tweaks to it on Showdown, and I haven't actually updated my in-game Pokemon, but this is pretty close to the team I'm laddering with. And I'm playing a guy named Myzlstyx, who is a real-life friend of mine. We battled before on YouTube. I believe he was known as Mirror Force or something back then. But, yeah, his new internet handle is Myzlstyx, and he is an awesome guy. So I lead with Mega Deontay, which is a Pokemon I really do like in this generation. Mega Deontay is actually less bulky than its original form, so it has to use Protect in order to safely Mega Evolve. But it's a really neat mod with Magic Bounce and does a lot of cool things. It's fast, it's offensive, and yeah, it makes actually a pretty good lead. Regardless, he's going to leave the Jirachi, which is something I was kind of afraid of looking at Team Preview. They're always pretty much scarfed. I go out into my Gliscor to take it. Now, my Pokemon Showdown team actually has a bulky Garchomp instead, but I don't have one actually in game right now. So I use the Gliscor instead, which is basically more or less the same role. Sets up Stealth Rocks and even Toxic things. And yeah, getting off the Toxic on the Mandibuzz was pretty nice because this thing is a bulky physical tank thing, and it really does get hurt by the Stealth Rocks. So, sorry, the Stealth Rocks and the Toxic Poison. But yeah, I am going to set up Stealth Rocks again as he defogs. I see no reason to switch out or let him have that defog. Basically, I'm not really afraid of this Mandibuzz, and yeah, I can just keep setting up Stealth Rocks if he wants to play the defog game. He's the one that has a turn limit to stay in due to his Toxic. But I am going to switch out this turn, thinking that he might do the same. I go out into Keldeo, mainly because I kind of think Keldeo can destroy this thing, even if he does stay in. But he does switch out as well into his Mamoswine, which is fine. I have the Hydro Pump, and yeah, me and 80-ish accuracy, 80-plus accuracy moves that aren't, auto hits, aren't 100%, I just not been lucky with hitting them recently. I have no idea what it is. I've never been this bad. So I'm like, okay, he is Freeze Dry. That's not good. I'm going to just go for the Secret Sword, which is 100% accuracy to finish it. But I took some really unnecessary damage. If that Hydro Pump connected, I would have been good. And I unfortunately don't carry Scald on this Keldeo. I do carry it on Showdown. This Keldeo actually has Protect. Another thing I need to update on this moveset. But, yeah, obviously Scald would have been a good play, too, because it never misses. Now, he goes into his Mega Gardevoir as I just go for the Hydro Pump. And, yeah, I missed again, so there's that, and then I die. Fantastic, fantastic. More Hydro Pump misses. I go into my Excadrill, which is a Scarf Excadrill, and I'm just going to apparently surprise him with the Scarf Iron Head, which, of course, takes out the Fairy. So he's going to switch out into his Landorus, which is a pretty good switch. It does have Intimidate, being that it is the Landorus Therian form, and yeah, I don't feel confident being able to do much damage to it after that. So I do switch out into my Gliscor, as he just makes a good play in U-turns, instead of just going for the Earthquake, which of course would have been bad. Either way, he goes out into Q, which is a funny story. I told him to name his his Nidoran male Q in his speedrun on Twitch one time, and there you go, there's Q the Nido King, which is probably one of the sheer force ones, and I don't want to take an Ice Beam. I hate doing this, but I decided to switch out into Deontay, which can't really take many hits. As you can see, it does more than half, and it's not even stabbed or super effective. But what it can do is outspeed things and hit it really hard, this time with an Earth Power, which does take out the Nidoran, and here comes back into Lando Calrissian. I'm going to Protect for some reason, mainly I think because the ones I see on Showdown are almost always Choice Scarfed, but this one is not. As you can see, it does have Leftover, so I just kind of gave him the free Leftovers recovery, which isn't a great move, but it did let me see what he was planning to do. I go out into my Gliscor, because I know I can take pretty much any physical move from this thing on it, as he goes for the Stone Edge, which misses, so that's not too shabby for me. So yeah, I feel pretty confident about being able to wall this thing. I'm just going to try to set up the Toxic on it, being that it seems to be a more bulky Landorus set, and Toxic Poison will get the residual damage off, as he goes for a Stone Edge and actually crits this time, so that kind of makes up for it, although I guess crits are only X 1.5, so it doesn't completely make up for the miss, but whatever. Anyway, I do get the toxic poison off, so that's pretty neat, and I know that I can keep tanking hits. If I need to, I can always roost too, so this thing is not going to be breaking down my defenses, but he continues trying to go for the Stone Edge, which doesn't really do much, and I just go for an Earthquake, actually predicting a switch into Jirachi that apparently never came, so I was actually pretty shocked. I was trying to predict Jirachi there, and he did not switch into it, which I guess is overall a good play for him. It worked out. Regardless, I'm going to switch out now because I really don't have much else to do. I go into Superiors. He once again goes for the Stone Edge, and I am now going to go for the Leaf Storm. Obviously, Superior's Dream World ability being contrary, Leaf Storm is incredibly obviously good on Superior. It's going to take out this Calrissian thing, as well as get 2 stages of special attack, not to mention that it is super fast and can take out a variety of mons. Not fast enough, however, to outspeed a Choice Scarf Jirachi. Now, I could have predicted this and tried to switch out to save my Superior, but yeah, I ended up just staying in and dying. I did that, I believe, to get the free switch into something else. I know that he's going to have to U-turn out into this Mandibuzz. I believe his only 2 Pokemon left are this Mandibuzz and Jirachi. So it gives me an opportunity to go into my Deontay, which usually can't really take many more hits, and take this Mandibuzz out. So I do go for the Moonblast, which is super effective against Dark types, and it does take out the Mandibuzz, which is pretty excellent indeed. And he goes out into his last Pokemon, Jirachi. Now, I do have several Pokemon left that can take any move that this thing does, but I just do want to see what it's going to do. He ends up going for the Iron Head. I could have switched out this turn, but instead I decide just to fodder Deontay. It's pretty useless since his only Pokemon left is a Choice Scarf Jirachi locked into Iron Head. Not to mention the fact that, yeah, it does give me the safe switch, so in case he crits, and not to mention, he's going to be able to get these flinch hacks. Look at that. Flinch 1, flinch 2, Serene Grace plus 30% flinch equals 60% flinch, and at this point I'm worried. I'm glad that I foddered Deontay, because looking at that damage, one more Iron Head would have killed Talonflame, so I would have just went in and switched immediately. He might have gotten the KO on Talonflame. That's how ridiculous Jirachi is, and thankfully he did not get one more flinch, which I think would have sealed the deal, but yeah, I am able to get the Flare Blast off, which does kill. Even if he did kill Talonflame, I still had the Excadrill and the Gliscor. Excadrill resists the Iron Head, but yeah, that was a very good game. Check out his Twitch channel. I'll leave the link in the description. So that's pretty cool. He likes to do speed runs of Pokemon games as well as races, and sometimes randomized races. They're really cool. But check out his Twitch channel if you like those things. He is an excellent Twitch user who needs more followers. So yeah, I would recommend him highly. Today's question of the day has to do with that a bit. Today's question of the day is: have you ever attempted a speed run of a Pokemon game? If so, which one? And what was your time? Obviously, you know, I think Red is probably the most popular Pokemon speedruns, but there are others. And yeah, pretty interesting. If you have not done a speedrun of Pokemon, leave a comment about why not, or if you're interested in doing one. Anyway, take care, guys, and see you later.